Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live. Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live. Welcome to V-Talks. I'm your host, Veronica Brockwell. Before we get started, I want to let you know I do not have a babysitter for my dogs. So if anything moves anywhere outside of this building, they are going to bark. So just be prepared. I think it'll be quiet. They seem very quiet and calm right now, but you never know. So that's where we're at tonight. But I didn't want to not do the show without a babysitter, so we're here. Anyway, I'm excited because I have a friend on tonight. He is an actor and a comedian, and he's so super awesome. Broadway World says performs with impeccable timing, great stamina, and a keen sensibility of genre. Theater Mirror says a voice that soars off the chart. He's going to kill me for saying all these things. Sarasota Tribune says delightful, sweet-natured, and hilarious. And currently, you can see him co-starring in HBOMax Julia and The Food That Built America on the History Channel. Please welcome to the V-Talks, my dear friend, Jacob Sherburne.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Hi.
You read my website.
I did. Right.
Oh man. You read my
iPad.
website. Wow. Oh
I'm so
man.
good.
The folks
Am I
at Broadway
good?
World. Yes.
Am
oh,
I
you're
good?
so good. And by the way,
Oh,
by
here
the
we
way,
go.
the
Stop.
opening credits. The opening credits. I was like,
Yeah. What?
Oh my gosh. I was like, we need to be high. We need to be a little high for this. Or at least I feel high looking at this. Wow. Good for you. Good for you. I was like, oh, look at this.
I know.
Yeah,
You're amazing.
that graphic is like a graphic at the beginning. Yeah. Wow.
I know. Did you see that? Like, what were we smoking when we made that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably your advertising budget, I'll bet. Yes.
Yeah. So can you show everybody what your cocktail is this evening?
What I'm coaxing, I have
yes.
enabled by Lighthouse Liquors.
The
nicest, expensivest booze in town. Just a margarita.
Yeah, it looks delicious. I wish I could partake, but somebody's got to man the controls here.
And everybody's asleep at the wheel.
I know. I'm not, you listen to some of these podcasts where people are drinking and getting high, and I'm like, I could not do that. I would not be good.
Oh man. I remember I got high once in an undergrad for a class. And I was sitting in class and I was like, I hope I'm not speaking. I was like, this is awful. And this is a better lesson that I could ever have been taught by anyone else. I'm lucky I'm learning it in a relatively nerfy environment. I was panicked. I feel you there. Not what I anticipated saying as a high school teacher, but hey, the president had to talk about it. So, or two presidents ago, anyway.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What's going on? Is that like a new studio or something?
Yes. Oh yeah. Speaking of,
like, honestly,
this is like in keeping with I now Zoom with these children, and they've all got. It's like a club in all their rooms now. You folks that have high school children, you're just letting them design their rooms like some sort of 50 Cent video. But I decided to put a little. Oh yeah, they've all got light strands of lights along the back corner. It's it makes them feel good. I'm sure. They feel cool. They feel cool on a Zoom.
Exactly.
But I feel cool too because now I've just had. So I've got. It's just my little closet, like a little teeny little closet. I kind of cut it in half. my costumes and my clothes are on the other side of this little wall that I built, and
Right.
I'm in this little slidey area, and it just goes out into my bedroom out there, or not my
Oh,
bedroom,
okay.
my office out there, which is where I like shoot. Oh, and I've got behind the paneling. Let me show you. Today I'm zooming into my classes right now because I have the asymptomatic COVID. And
Oh, okay.
yes, so I was
I did not
using.
know this.
I
Thank you
know.
for not canceling, but you're asymptomatic, so you're fine.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Oh, you gotta. The show must go on, as
Right,
they
of
say.
course.
And so I use my little wall here as a blackboard
Okay.
for my high school classes. But anyway, yeah, I just put up got my little microphone. I got my sound paneling that looks so
Yeah,
professional.
I love it. I think it's terrific. So, Jacob, last time you were on the show, I think COVID had just started, right?
No
It
way,
didn't
really.
wasn't it? Because it was probably like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, right?
I think what I
Or a year
think
and a
had
half.
just
I was
happened.
trying to remember.
We had I remember. Oh yeah, I remember because I was like, oh, look at this StreamYard. StreamYard's cool. Because I had just used it in the fall to put on a virtual streaming show
Mhm.
with 30 high school students. So I was like, oh, I love this platform, right? Which is, can you imagine doing doing this, but still live, but with 30
Yeah.
high school students, and they were all zooming in from or streaming in from, not zooming. Man, Skype missed the boat. Um, they were all streaming in from different, either their houses or from rooms in ORR, and
Right.
we were putting on a show, like a virtual show. So
It was
it was just
brilliant.
you saw it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Oh,
it was brilliant,
oh my
and
gosh.
the sound quality because of the platform we're using is so much better because Zoom is not
StreamYard.
yeah, we love it.
Okay, so maybe it was right before. Okay, wow. So it was even before that. Maybe I learned about StreamYard from you. Maybe I'm getting this mixed up.
Maybe because I am a
Yeah,
trendsetter,
I know. Oh well, that's how I describe you.
of course.
Yes. After I get finished laying out an exact description of your cheekbones, I move on to how you control the local zeitgeist, Veronica.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you're so funny. Anyway, so congratulations. You
Thank you.
have 2 shows currently.
I thought you were going to say children, which I also have. But
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. I know I seem gay, don't I? Um, two TV shows that, from whatever they thank you. You may shrug. Hey, I'm fine. Hey, I'm fine. It's working for me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Um, the only way I could seem gayer is if I lived in your house. Look at it back there. You look like it's like a show. It's like a showcase, or it's like a place like you without the furniture behind you.
There's nothing back there right now.
It's like a showroom. It's like it looks like
It's a
you.
dance floor right now.
Oh man, it's a dance.
It's
It looks
a
like you live in like a homosexual pancreas right now. Look
Wait,
at
look,
that.
it is
Oh
it
my
is
goodness.
it
And
is
the
a dance.
baby grand. Oh
I
my
know,
goodness.
I'm trying to donate
So
that
chic.
baby grant to the art center.
I what I
Oh,
was I
you
know
just
you
froze.
contacted.
What happened? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you froze for a
I
second, sorry.
oh You contacted me about it, and then what I did there was forget to contact
So,
them. So I will.
it's okay.
I will.
It's actually because it's a baby grand, it's very compact. It's 5 feet by 5 feet, so,
Oh,
it just
infantile.
needs yes, it just needs tuning, but it's really cool, and I would like to donate it. So,
I want it. It just didn't fit my
okay, I'll donate it to you.
house. Yes, donate to me.
So, tell us about your,
Yes, those 2
Julia.
shows.
Yes, let's talk about Julia first.
Okay.
Let's do
So
that.
it feels like it's all happening at once, but I these things that I filmed very disparately,
Yeah.
said the English teacher, they just happened to both premiere at the same time. In fact, so Julia, I've been waiting, and I told you some of these stories, um, uh, on the last one, because last time I think we had filmed the pilot, and which I didn't ever think was going to happen, because I had hightailed it down to Boston, and I had eaten the most delicious craft services meal of my life. I was like, oh, well, look at this steak salad at noon.
Right.
Can you believe I have 2 kids? But look at this steak salad at noon. I'm about to read the script for the thing that's going to make my life all worth it. And
Sure.
and then we get into the room, and then eventually we wait there for a weird amount of time. We know that David Hyde Pierce. I keep saying that. David Hyde Pierce is in the hotel somewhere. We know that BB Newirth is in the hotel somewhere above us, and they're about to come down. And then somebody comes in and says, there's this new thing called COVID-19. David Hyde Pierce is not coming into this room right now. You should all go home. This isn't going to happen. And then like 6 months later, they were like, hey, we're figuring out how to do shows during COVID, and we still want to do Julia. So are you still available? I was like, yeah. So they had me come in and film the pilot with Sarah Lancashire, who's amazing, and she just became my hero immediately in the room, and it was cool. I get to like make eye contact with her stuff, and she said, oh, he's got a great face. I was like, me? She's like, oh, he's got it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's me. She's talking about me. So that's nice. Me and my great face, and Sarah Lancashire, and Jefferson Mays, who like some people that love Broadway would be like, oh, I know him, but everybody else would be like, who? And Jefferson, I think, would be fine with that. I don't think he's listening, but so we filmed that. Oh my gosh.
This is the pilot.
Yeah, the pilot, like 2 years ago from this fall, or no, 1 year, so like a year and a half ago.
Sure.
And then I was waiting to see, okay, are they going to pick it up? They picked it up. I was waiting to see, are they going to use me? They're probably not going to use me. And then they
way to manifest. They're not going to use me.
Okay. Yes. No, you're right. I can feel bad about it now too.
I
know. Oh no,
like, they will use me. I will be using.
Maybe for the sake of the story, I'm playing it up. But yes, no, I was like, I think it's gonna work. No, who wasn't manifesting? My wife. She was like, well, it seems like it's probably not gonna happen, right? Because she's manifesting things like kids and paying the bills and stuff.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I got to film 3 episodes of a cable show. And it just premiered 3 of the episodes. I'm in 2 of those. I'm in number 1 and number 2. Number 1, number 3.
And what's your and who is your character?
I am the director at WGBH. So she goes on a show called I've Been Reading, which is like this like very like stuffy academic like very chauvinistic and sexist environment. And we're all like, oh, we've got a girl on this week. She's not a serious book writer. She writes like cookbooks. I don't know what those are.
And what year is this supposed to be?
It's
like time period.
I keep getting this wrong. It's not. It feels like the 50s, but it's actually.
Is it the 40s?
I think it's the early. No. It's
late 40s. No. Okay. I couldn't remember.
No, it's I really think it's post Vietnam.
Okay.
It's like the same age as my dad. So it's like 65 years ago. Gosh, so like in the 60s is when the pilot premieres.
Okay.
So you've got Harvard Square looking like it's in the 60s.
All right.
But it feels very like, because we're in the Julia's world, it does feel very kind of Beaver Cleavery, like, and very kind of comforting and British, the way that the way it's written. It shares writers with Miss Maisel. So it's also kind of got this like fun, like calm, just like calming feeling. And the opening feels very much to me like Great British Baking Show. I'm sure they'd resent the implication and maybe fire me, but I think the opening feels so much. It's just like, it's so I would watch it. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh man, I would watch this. This is so cool. But yeah, so it's called Julia. It's streaming now on HBOMax. Me and a lot of locals, because Julia Child, it picks up where Julia Child gets her pilot of her TV show, and it's hard fought. And she's ubiquitous now. She's like Bob Ross. She's like Reading Rainbow. But at the time, it was like, this woman wants to cook and have us watch it, which like now makes sense.
That's all. Yes, of course. That's all people do now.
Yeah. Kids will watch somebody else play a game for 3 hours. So,
sure.
So like but watching someone cook food, was like, we were like, they will not watch this. But it became the biggest thing that any of them had ever worked on. And it was all just because she and a small group of people, mostly women, believed in her and understood what she was doing.
Yeah.
And my job is to play the guy going, stupid girls. That's my casting a lot of the time. The sexist, the racist, the guy on the edge being like they shouldn't be allowed to play. That's kind of like, I'm one of those guys in the show. And who knows, maybe I'll come around. Hopefully they write me in more lines so that I can be in season 2.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. This is so wonderful because, it was tough, when you were on last time, because everyone was with COVID. It was just, here you've got this exciting opportunity and then nothing.
Yeah.
So it's great. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
and then you have the food that built America on the History Channel.
So very thematically similar. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was going to ask you. So talk to me about that.
They were like, we're looking for a guy that is like, looks like a happy-go-lucky baker. And they both picked me out of the hat, and Julia and the food that built America. They're in their third season, and on the History Channel, they're streaming. The third season is streaming right now. It's not on Hulu, but you could get on Amazon or iTunes or History Channel. It's this great show that addresses like different foods that built America. So I'm in an episode about like sliced white bread, and then there's like episodes about like tacos, and there's episodes of about like donuts, fast food, of course. And so I'm in one about it's called The Best Thing Since. And we have literally this moment where a guy's bread. Like, this is gonna be the best thing since ever, because he's talking about sliced bread. So I walk in as the guy that invented Wonder Bread, and I'm like, here's my bread, and the guy's like, I'll buy your whole company, and then I just smile, and then I walk out. So, and they cut all my lines in it, but there's a lot of me going like, which is, I'm good at that, so that's fine. Thank you. Like,
yeah, right.
Just like living a story.
How do you do that? What did you do? Let me try.
Okay, so let's see.
I'm gonna try. Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a story. So you need to feel surprised, then proud, then shady at somebody next to you.
Okay, I can't do all this.
No. All right,
Can
I give you 4 of them?
Okay,
surprised.
Go ahead. Okay.
Surprised, then proud, then shady at the person next to you, and then suck up to the teacher. So those 4: surprised, proud.
I can't,
like
it's too
really,
much.
Okay,
like a bad dance routine for me.
Okay, fine. Then 2. How about 3 of them? How about 3 of them then?
Okay, all right. So, let's do 3. Okay.
Surprised, then proud, then shady at the person next to you. All right, take a second. Surprised, then proud, then shady.
Do it again.
And surprised. Go.
Action. Surprise.
Then proud. Then proud. Then shady at the person next to you. Yes, that is. So like.
Oh.
you know?
Mm.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I
So
I
we
I
all have
did
our own.
take I did take acting classes at Boston Casting, you know.
And you know what? It shows. So great.
I know.
Um, right.
I did, but let's talk about that. So you're an actor, obviously, and you've probably been doing it a while. But tell me when you decided that you wanted to be an actor.
Hmm.
I mean, has
You
this been a
know,
lifelong thing, or did it happen later on? Were you a child actor? Were you in plays as a
it's probably
kid?
got more to do with my father than I'm willing to admit.
All right.
Um,
Well, we're gonna dig deep. We're gonna get in
oh,
there. Let's
oh
go. Let's
boy.
dig in. Let's dig in there and see.
Well, it all
You wanted to
started.
make your father proud?
Yes, well, it all started when my pants fell down in front of the whole school. No, it all started when I remember doing a church pageant,
Mm.
and my father he had written it, and he was playing Jesus, which maybe tell you something about him. I think I don't forgive me, Dad, if you weren't
So
playing
you were in
Jesus,
a
but I remember
church
you wrote it.
pageant
I was
and
in a church pageant,
your
and I
father was
played
playing Jesus.
I played the blind man, and I stood up in a pew, and I was like, yeah, heal me, I was like, heal me,
How old were
and
you?
2. No, I think I was 7 or 8, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I got a lot of attention for it, and I had fun while I was doing it, and it felt like I was getting away with something while I was doing it. It was like, "Oh, the people want me to do this right now." So that was very clarifying for me, because up until then I was like, "Okay, so everything we do kind of sucks, right?" Um, and then I was like, "Oh, this doesn't suck," and they were like, "This is okay to do. You can do this. Take this home. Yeah, this is yours." So I feel like it was in a church pageant that I was like,
All right.
"Oh, okay, I can." And I'm helping with Christmas, or no, Easter.
And how did that feel to you? I mean, did you feel confident or were you ever nervous or it was just a very natural thing for you?
I feel like in my memory, I was in no way nervous. I was, like, full of energy, so
Mhm.
in a way nervous, and then on the moment, I was like, "Oh, man, they're gonna love this." And then I, like,
See, that's
ha
great.
and then I, like, hammed it up each new moment. I was like, "Oh, they like it. Oh," and I'm, like, looking at my father, and he's, like, nodding versus shaking his head. So I go, "Oh, good." Um,
Mm.
and then, yeah, but also this is the same church where we're all standing up at the front of the altar, um, and we were supposed to demonstrate how fire brigades used to work in the Old Testament times, where you would pass a bucket of water to the burning house, and when the bucket was passed to me, I hadn't been paying any attention, and I put my offertory money into it, and into the bucket, and all the old women in the front row laughed for what in my memory was like 3 minutes, and I remember feeling very upset. But also it was a learning experience of being like, oh, look, oh, you're funny without meaning to. Maybe
Yeah.
make that a career. Um, yeah. So that was really young. And then
Sure.
I was playing sports, and I was like really intimidated and afraid to try out for the musical because I didn't want to get made fun of. And then I
Yeah.
just like it was like evident that it was such a joy that I was wasting, and
Yeah.
so I did, and then I just was like, oh right, this is this feeling where this thing that comes easily to me is bringing joy and bringing me approval and bringing me uh status and bringing me a feeling of esteem in myself. So that's pretty hard to argue with anytime moving
Right.
forward. Yeah.
A voice that soars off the charts. Can you give me a few bars?
Oh boy.
Oh boy! After
um.
a margarita?
Oh. Oh. Usually. Um.
Yeah.
Oh man. What are we? Uh. I'm trying to. I'm sorry. You gotta. Do you want like musical theater, or do you want like
Yeah, because that's gonna
Okay.
go yeah, that's what I
Um.
want. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think this is the mic that'll do it.
All
All right.
right.
So Lancelot is just showing up in Camelot, and he's pretty excited, right? All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Camelot, Camelot. In far off France I heard your call. Camelot, Camelot, now here am I to give my all. I know in my soul what you expect of me, and all that and more I shall be. Boom. Yeah. So that's
Beautiful.
thank you. Yeah, and we're was what's the one that we did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I've done
Oh,
that
right. Oh,
3
yeah.
times. Met my wife doing it, met my
Oh,
father
wow.
doing it. Um, just kidding. I met my father before that, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
we one time played brothers with him, and one time he played, the father character. And
Mm.
each time I played the same guy. So that's another one. Those Canaan days, like all the brothers are wandering through Egypt or through, and oh, my mother just texted me. Wonderful singing too. Clap, clap, clap.
I would,
Thanks, ma'am.
I figured she was watching. Hi,
Uh,
mom. What's her
yeah,
name?
that's probably got I don't know. No, her name is Joanne.
Mom. Hi,
Yes,
Joanne.
Joanne.
How
And
are
her,
you?
and her, she and my wonderful mother-in-law share the name Anne in both their names. And there's
Okay.
Anne Marie and there's Joanne, and we named my daughter Frances her middle name Anne after the two of them. And I told my mother, and she's like, "Oh, I don't identify with my name being Anne." I was like, "Come on, mom, we did it for you, ma." But so yeah, my mother and my mother-in-law are we have a namesake. That we're. Oh, cool! Thanks, Erin. WGBH. Okay.
Yes, see, she said,
Oh, thanks, Erin. Oh, thanks,
manifest
Erin.
greatness,
And you
Jacob
should
and
have
Will.
you noticed her new she's got a lovely new platinum blonde look as well. Uh,
Um,
but anyway, so now that my mother complimented me wonderfully, and immediately I said, "Oh, I named my daughter after her." Oh, but yeah. So, but each time I have played in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, I always play the brother that sings like that. All the brothers get together in Egypt, and they're wandering through the desert, and Mom, you're gonna have to text me again, otherwise I'm gonna think that you are upset that you got mentioned. Um, um, we're wandering through Egypt, and we think we've killed Joseph, and we feel really bad about it. And I'm like, "Do you remember the good years in Canaan? The summers where I lastly gold. The fields were a patchwork of clover. The summers were never too cold." All right, well, I'm forgetting lines, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But that's the song that has like gotten me. That show, I met my wife doing it. I got my first union acting job doing
Mhm.
that part. Um, and I've gotten to be in that show with my father twice. All my in-laws have seen me in that show. My wife and I sang. Instead of Jacob and Sons, we sang Jacob and Sarah at
Oh,
our after wedding, what's that called? The party, the reception.
yes.
At the reception, yeah, and we made all our friends do a little dance to that. So that's
I love
it's
that.
just, yeah, that's a big part of our life. But yeah, that was it was musical theater acting and
Mhm.
singing for a long time, and I still love doing that. And I still audition for that frequently.
Yeah.
Once or twice a week. I send videos to places, but what has worked out the best for me has been like commercial acting, and
Mhm.
like you folks have definitely, if you watch TV, you've seen me. Oh, good. My mom said, "Love Joseph." I
All
was
right, so
just trying to.
where have we seen you? What commercials have you been in that
Okay,
we would have seen you?
so um, I'm the Baycoast Patriot.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
So
Yes.
there's like no taxation without representation.
Yeah.
And then there's and like is that tea? So a lot of there I've had a few people in the like general Fairhaven through Providence area be like, "Hey, was that you?" Yes, it was. Um and people were like, "Oh my gosh, it was on during the Super Bowl." And that was cool because they had bought ad space during all the Patriots games.
Mhm.
And I guess they were hoping that the Patriots would be in the Super Bowl. So they just so that was cool to be in
Yeah.
technically in a Super Bowl commercial. And
Yeah,
then
that's amazing.
from a couple years ago, my son and I were in a Needham Bank commercial. So a lot of very financial heavy. I guess I got
Mhm.
a face that makes people want to spend money.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, or invest. My son and I, that was cool. Gordon and I were in a commercial together where he's like sitting on my lap using an iPad, and I'm like frustrated using some sort of other bank. And then we discovered Needham Bank together. Yeah, that and then there's this. I have been cast by financial and like loaning institutions to wear a tri-cornered hat 3 different times. And
Curious,
I get afraid that one of them's gonna see the other one and say, "What? How dare you?" I'm like, "I don't know.
right?
I guess I just have that
You have
face that
that look
people
yeah, the hat
cast
works
as some
on
sort of hipster pilgrim."
hipster
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a story that I can never tell in a way that because it's about me complaining about getting a bunch of work. Um, and people love to hear those. But it is funny. I don't know that there can't be that many locations in Boston that rent out tri-cornered hattery, and I have a head that's that defies measurement. It's like I forget what it is. It's at least an 8. It's a big head. Like anytime I would collect baseball cards, anytime I would anytime they had the hat measurement on it, my head was always bigger than the professional baseball player's head. I'm like, wow. And this is when I was still a kid. um, so how many tri-cornered hats fit me in the greater Boston area? It's gotta maybe be one. It's gotta maybe be one. So I'm pretty sure multiple professional banks or companies have outfitted me in, I think, maybe the same tri-cornered hat. Check the internet.
I know. You know, I can't imagine being a student in your class because, you're an English teacher, right?
That's right.
Do you entertain them? Yes.
Smooth transition, Brockwell. All right.
Thank you, buddy. Do you, entertain them in the same way?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Or are they
That's
bored in your class?
the
Right.
hope.
But
I mean,
but tell me seriously, you're an English teacher and you're also an actor. So, let's talk about that.
to some degree, I want to be I don't know, part of the plan can usually be, okay, read the book, prepare the material, and just go in and just be fascinating, which
Yeah.
I can try and do. Like, I'll do some time. It's like a stand-up set.
High
But that's
school,
not always,
right?
yeah. But
Okay.
imagine if I was like kindergarten. But that's not always the best way for kids to learn things in their brain. It's not
Okay.
important necessarily, for them to be, for them to laugh. It's not always important for them to even be glad that they're in class. It's more important that they learn skills that they can take agency over moving forward. So that is the struggle for me is like, okay, can I take a back seat to their learning and their betterment? That's kind of the back and forth. Um, but it's nice to have the skill in my back pocket to be able to like if somebody asks a question to sort of improvise an answer where they're like, "Did you write that?" And I'm like, "No, I just came out of my brain. Just took it out of my brain head right there." Um uh but yeah, we have fun.
Well, there
Uh
must be something very fulfilling about being a teacher.
oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh definitely. Um it's just cool. It's just like kids walk in and it makes me so upset that like we get it. Honestly, it's made me so much appreciate this thing that um I don't know, millennials and everybody after us, everybody after millennials um, uh, get made fun of for this sort of like participation culture and like participation trophy and stuff. But just like it's so hard to be a kid in high school. And when they show up and they manage to like they've done their homework, or if they haven't, they tell me the truth about it. It's like I don't know. I, more and more when I assign grades, I feel more and more, or I say, no, you can't make it up. It's too late. I know you're trying to make good, um, but them's the rules. I gotta teach you the hard lessons too. More and more, I'm like, is it so important that I give their future boss a really clear picture of who they are and what their responsibilities are? Wouldn't I rather, at any turn, help them? If on a certain day, if only on Tuesday this week, they're getting after it and they're ready. Like I shouldn't if they have skipped Friday and Monday and they show up on Tuesday, wouldn't it be stupid of me to say, "Oh, nice to see you today"? Like, wouldn't it be better to try to help them make good instead of digging them into a hole? So it's a job that I fiercely believe in, and I really enjoy high school students, and I just like they're awesome. Um they're figuring out being an adult, but also they've got a whole bunch of being an adult, but they also like they're still like you can see the mark of the angels on them still. They're still like, kids have this amazing. I'm watching my son, I'm like, this kid is like I'm smarter than him about a very select little, pie slice of stuff. He really, really like I just need to not mess this kid up.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, but also,
Yeah,
I
just
don't
a little
know,
bit.
they're like etch a sketches. It's like, that was a tough one, but make yourself a tea and take a nap, and
Mhm.
they'll be back tomorrow. And um, um,
So
yeah.
how do you work out, auditioning and teaching school?
Can I
Because
just tell
you
you quick
Hmm,
before we talk about that?
yeah.
I do have a summer program that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, we're gonna
Called.
talk about it, sure,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, I just want to say summer stages, so I carry that
Yeah,
forward.
we're, like, towards the end, we're gonna
Great.
talk about all your stuff because you've got some
Okay.
exciting things going on, but you can talk
Thank
about
you.
it now.
No, 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 let's do what you wanna do. I just, I
Doesn't
I was
matter.
like, every time you
When
go to,
you're
like,
on, we do
move
what
us
you wanna
forward,
do. I
uh,
just let you fly.
every every time we you go to move me forward, I go, "Oh, no, I'm being boring." But I know
No.
that that's not what you're doing. And I'm like,
No,
but oh
never.
gosh, no, no, I don't. Oh,
No.
no. My goal was not to
Wait,
make
what is
you
it?
comfort me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, what was that? Could we see it one more time? I didn't okay. So,
I'm
it's
overacting.
oh, no, no,
That's
it
I
was
know,
like
like, we can talk
that
about that too, right? It's the camera is so subtle, like, you
that
can't
I
right?
love that. Let's talk about that though. What you
Right.
just did to me looked like, okay, be assaulted, decide that you like the assault, and then fall asleep immediately in some sort of
Yeah,
goat-like
very
trauma response.
bad,
I know, I
very
love it.
bad.
I love it, like, the shade, like, looked like also falling asleep. It's good. Um,
Yeah,
here,
slightly exaggerated,
Hey, let
but
me
yes.
play one game for you that I love to warm up adult actors,
No.
and
Go
I love to
ahead.
warm up adult actors and kindergartners with it. I'll play it with my 5-year-old. Okay,
Okay.
it's called 5 things, 5 things, 5 things, 5 things, 5
Ah.
things, 5 things.
Alright,
You
we
know
got it.
this? You don't know this.
I don't know this.
You don't why are you going, you don't 5 things, 5 things, 5 things, 5 things, 5 things. Now your job is to say yes. Ready? Veronica.
Yes.
Good. What are 5 what are 5 children's toys that could be made out of sticks? And now you just go.
Uh, uh, I don't know.
1.
I
So,
don't have,
my
like, a house? Like a stick house?
2. Stick, yes. So we got stick house. What
I
else?
don't have kids. I don't know.
Oh, you can make kids. You can make stick kids. All right, 3.
I I don't know. Stick people, yeah.
Well, 4. Stick people too. Yeah. One more. We
What?
got one more.
I
And
don't
twigs. The twigs out of sticks. 5 things. 5 things. 5 things. 5 things. 5
I
things.
don't know.
That's one game. Now
Okay,
you
well,
gotta you
I
gotta give it to
can't.
me.
What do you make sticks at? Flag? You can make a flag?
Here's the thing, though.
I ran out of time.
The job isn't to be right. The job
Oh,
is just to have fun. You came
okay.
up with 5 things, and they were, houses, and people, and kids, and twigs.
Yeah,
That's Did it make me laugh? Did it make us laugh? Yes.
yeah.
Did I positively affirm you as we went?
You
Yeah, I did.
told me it was amazing.
It was great.
Yes.
Yeah. The goal, the thing is
Yeah,
so much, and I see it, I'm teaching at Tabor Academy right now, like, these kids are
yeah.
like, look, they think it is incumbent upon them to look for the right answer. But it's so rarely in life, we know, so rarely in life is there that. Is there a right answer? It's not, most of life is not a test,
You
despite
know,
what the MCAS and the Christians would tell you.
this is
Um,
so interesting that you're talking about this because
oh.
when I was a kid, I was terrified to speak up in class.
Yes, and they still are.
Terrified.
Yeah.
Now, I twirled the baton competitively and I was good at that. So I wasn't afraid to be in front.
Oh,
Like
man.
I, you know, like in a parade, I was like that little kid that threw the baton up in front of the band, that was like 5 years old.
But so was my mother, actually.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't afraid of that. And I wasn't afraid to sing on stage when
Wow,
I was
that's
young.
something. That's something, Veronica.
But,
That a lot of people are afraid to do that.
but if
Will
I was
you
in
sing? Will
class,
you sing right now?
no.
Oh, a few bars. Give us a few
No.
bars.
Wait, hold on. But if I was in class and the teacher called on me, I had a legit panic attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ah, and
Yeah.
so somebody's telling our kids, and I mean, as also our
Even
girls.
if I knew the answer.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So is the fear a lot of the I mean, like, some
Yeah.
kids are afraid of the teacher. Some kids are afraid of being branded as wrong or stupid or bad.
Maybe that.
Or also, like, being, like, branded as, like, sexist or racist, because like, more and more, that's also the worry. They're afraid of their classmates. It's like, what's the LBJ quote? Um,
In my
yeah,
in
what's
my
the difference
time,
between
that wasn't as to the forefront it is now.
Okay, but
So
that's what kids are worried about. I'm like, am I
yeah,
using the right pronouns? What is it?
sure.
What is the LBJ thing that what's the difference between conservatives and liberals? Liberals oh no, sorry. What's the difference between cannibals and liberals? Cannibals only eat their enemies. So kids are afraid of each other also, which is
Okay,
like,
yeah. I mean,
you know,
you're in the front lines. You see what's happening out there every
yeah.
day.
And you F up and you do
Yeah.
really well, and I don't know, you move forward, and they're not as, I don't know, they're not as monolithic as you think they are. They're still not, I mean, kids aren't canceling anybody. They're just trying to
Yeah.
express themselves. But so how do you remember, were you afraid of your classmates? Were you afraid of the girls? Were you afraid of the boys? Were you afraid of the teacher?
All of the above.
Oh
Yeah, it was just very interesting. There were
yeah.
certain things I was very confident, and then there were other things I was petrified. So it is kind of I overcame that obviously because here we sit, but and I overcame it by forcing myself to be in situations where I had to get uncomfortable. So
Mm,
if I had been coddled, I don't think it would have benefited me and personally.
yeah.
If somebody had enabled me and said, "Well, you don't have to speak up then." For me, I needed to do it and realize that I could do it, and what's the worst that was going to happen?
Right. And I
You
guess
know.
what I try to aim for with kids is I'm not I don't me and none of the teachers that I talk to often, there's no more there's not a lot of okay, you can just coast, you can just not talk. But there's not I so often say to my students, I repeat it, absolve yourself of the obligation to be right. So
Yeah.
there's not necessarily you you don't have to, it's not about you don't have to meet the bare terms of the agreement. You have to participate. You have to.
Mhm.
And if you don't,
Yeah.
you'll get a worse grade, but you don't have to excel. You will excel in some areas, but
Mm.
like, we don't need we don't need you to be having stress streams about calculus, when in the future you're gonna do a really good job running a dentist's office.
No,
You
it's so true, right?
you don't we why
I
are we doing this
know.
to you?
I
So I don't
know.
know. We also just see in the world right now, we're like, okay, it seems like pretty hard to be a person right now. So how can we kind of ease off the clutch a little bit? Um, I
Yeah.
I don't know cars that well, so I don't even know
Yeah.
if I used the right phraseology there. Um,
But I would like to talk about let's talk about your program your summer
fear.
program.
Why are we talking about fear?
I
Why are we
don't know
talking about that?
how we got there, but that's
Let's
okay. It's a great
let's talk about
discussion.
we should talk about batons.
Ugh,
Um,
I know.
um,
I can't even imagine how many concussions I got. I didn't know.
from hitting yourself in the head.
With a
What hit
baton.
what hit you the most often, the rubbery thing or the metal?
Oh, both. You throw it up in the air and you spin 10 times. It doesn't always land in your hand.
No,
No.
comes on your noggy.
No, I know.
No.
Anyway, talk about your summer program. This is wonderful.
I kinda wanna keep talking about batons, but fine.
Oh, well, we'll talk afterwards about the baton.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, so it's called, Summer Stages. The first iteration of it, a little over a year ago, last summer,
Mhm.
was called Midsummer Stages, 'cause we put on Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes.
Um, and there's a great picture of me in one of the papers. I'm like, "Oh, this is an awesome picture," but it does make me look like I'm the center of the camp. Because me and some local actors, including my father, who, like,
Mhm.
keep in mind, they're both probably my mother, who's texted me 3 or 4 times, and my father are both probably listening to this right now. So, like, that also like, that's something about why how I am what I am.
Mhm.
It's like, well, mom and dad are listening because that's not true for everybody. But also, um, my father was one of the actors, that helped, Midsummer Night's Dream come to fruition last summer. The Mac helped me, and this ragtag bunch of kids to produce a show at the Marion Bandstand, which is just like, it's just this gorgeous, place to put
It
on
really,
shows
really
that
is.
are only, and not to knock the concert band that plays there, but it's only used by them, like, 1 night a week, like, for 2 months during the summer or something like that.
Fridays.
Fridays, right. It's like, why is this all that's happening here?
Yeah.
And they weren't, like, resentful of us trying to do stuff there. They actually put up with, like, us moving their crap around sometimes. But,
Mm.
like, it's so funny. I sometimes am like, "Downtown Marion, why other than Tabor sometimes feels like such a like, almost like a ghost town?" I'm like, is it that they don't want a bunch of people down here? I think they don't want a bunch of people down here.
Probably
Although,
not.
I mean, I've seen, like, if you go on Halloween, it's like, "Ooh, this party is bumping right now." Man, there where I'm just up to my elbows in Trevor's, like, down on the ground.
Mhm.
Like, nice yeah, nice SpongeBob, outfit, everybody. Um, uh, but, it's a lovely performance space down there. So that was kind of the impetus of the first program. It's like,
Yeah.
I wanna put on Midsummer Night's Dream at the bandstand, and I don't care how I do it. So finally got to do it with these middle school and high school students, who just really enjoyed, it was about putting on the show, and that was a big priority, but also it was just about, like, having fun and expressing ourselves and making friends and, encountering rigor and not using their phones too much and not drinking too many monsters. Cheese M. Crow. Children drink so much uh chemicals now. Kids
Mm.
drink monsters, sometimes multiple monsters a day. I don't know if you see this. Um uh but it's the secret pandemic happening right now. Just like little kids, like slightly depressive kids with she they pronouns are slurping two monsters a day. It's crazy. So that was one thing I would get on the kids. I'd be like, one monster a day. If you're drinking that, you can have one of them a day. And they're always like, "Oh, I don't want to make you feel bad that I'm drinking a monster." I was like, "It's not about me. Yeah, I mean, it is about me, but don't. Please just don't bring a monster every day." Anyway, so I get into it with them, and I've got co-teachers given the day. But so we're doing another, and then we did another iteration of it in the fall. It went really well. It's called Oedipus Rex, which was like it's a pretty dark, macabre psychosexual drama that I put on with high school students. But I just loved the play, and it gave them a lot of great opportunities to take on some really interesting text. That just people arguing, like nobody can feel feelings and can engage in ethical conversations like the ancient Greeks. It's so cool. And to do that through the lens of modern interpretations of them with high school students who are all just trying to figure out who they are
Sure.
was really cool this past fall. So we're keeping that going at the
Yep.
Mac. That the Mac just posted about it. We're
Okay.
doing this summer. We're doing something that more focuses on what's like really appealing about my skill set, particularly. It's an acting.
So that's the Marion Art Center.
The Marion Art Center.
Because Mac could be Big Mac. We don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's at the Marion Art Center, downtown Marion.
And can you shoot me that information? Because if you have any ads or anything going on with what's coming up, because I'd love to post that and get that out to the community on my community page.
Thanks so much, Veronica. Yes. Oh
You're
no,
welcome.
you are.
I know the admin.
I know it. Yes.
Mm.
Yes, intimately. And right. So what we're doing this summer is a sort of a shorter thing, not focusing on producing a whole play. We're working towards a showcase of scenes. Because I really wanted to each summer the kids will give me feedback on like what worked, what really worked well, and what they have dreams about, what they want to do more of. And so in response to that, I've created this program that's gonna be about like a summer stage showcase heading towards scenes that the kids are gonna put on. And I'm gonna also, in addition to inviting, the community at large and their family, I'm also gonna invite some. I mean, like, what's the worst that happens is that the scene goes poorly and everything's still fine. Nobody's going to be blackballed from the industry, but I'm going to invite a couple of folks that I work with at casting agencies,
That's great.
so the kids can present themselves.
No, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's how can children, like what age groups and how can they get involved?
It's really what we have set up for summer stages is here, you know what? I'm gonna it's marionartcenter.org /stages. I'm just posting in the chat to you. It's
okay, good. Did you do that already?
I did.
Yeah.
In the chat, yeah. In the private chat.
In the private chat. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, is there a chat that I can post to? I don't think I can.
You can
I
post
can
in the comments.
Oh, look at that. No, I got to tell you, no, I can't.
You can't make a comment?
No.
Yeah,
no,
that's all right. I'll post it later.
Look at, oh my goodness, Aaron Bednarczyk is going nuts over here. Oh my gosh. Look at Aaron.
See, if you scroll over to the bottom, you can't see where it says post a comment under comment.
I think, and I'm glad that this was true while I was using StreamYard to do to do graveyard play. Oh no, the kids are, if any kids are listening, the anthology. No, I can't. I can see comments, which is why when somebody commented, so I had this really brave actress, Molly. I had Molly, she's in high school, so I'm not gonna say her whole name. She played a few characters that we named the Banshee, and she's just screaming, and it was awesome. But it was like a lot for everybody else. Is like, when I was a little boy, I dreamed of being a soldier. And then Molly comes and she's like, ah! And so somebody goes with more cuss words that they were they start commenting on every platform, who this little girl with the loud shouting, but like we're swearing. So I kicked that person off immediately. But no, I can see the comments.
All right.
But
Well, yeah. So if you sent it over to me, what I'll do is I'll post it because I think I want to get the word out if people want to be a part of this and the age groups and if kids want
yeah,
to
oh yeah,
be
right. So it's 14 and up.
14
And
and
if
up,
any,
and
and
it's
if
like
you
it's like a camp, it's like a camp almost, right?
right, it's
Okay.
we had been going for a camp type program, but what we found was what worked best. We're doing 3 evenings a week.
Okay.
So it's a little closer to like the
And
format
when
of an
does it
after school
start?
program. I gotta double check, but it's I want to say late June. June,
Okay.
yeah, June 20th through
Uh-huh.
July 18th, and on July 18th we're having a showcase that the
Okay.
community can come to.
That's
But all
lovely.
and we're filming it as well. That fully vaccinated actors can perform in and either just have a good time and be part of that on entirely an amateur and just having fun level, or
Adults too or just teens?
that is something if an adult were interested, I
Mm,
w I would say email the Mac or email me
mm,
because, because the thing is right now while I'm still building the program,
mm,
I kinda need to keep it at like a it's kind of a case by case basis because
mm,
when it's a kids program, it, like below a certain age, it's sort of tenuous. It's a sensitive process of like, hey,
mm.
is my kid just going to be like working with adults that haven't? It's a whole other. It's
Yeah,
a really
no,
case
no
by case
worries.
decision.
So you're like 14 to 18, something like
So
that?
yes, exactly. Right now it's
Okay.
14 to 18, but I
Okay.
do encourage adults. Like if there's an adult that wants to work with me or that wants to work with the Mac or that is interested in somehow being involved with the program, like I said, my father, Rick Sherburne, or Margot Wilson Ruggiero, who is a wonderful actress that works locally. She has participated in the shows, so it's kind of like
And you have adult theater too there, right?
oh yeah.
You
In
used
fact,
to. I
in
have
fact,
yeah.
they just had auditions, and I'm sure they're still looking for folks this
Mm,
past weekend for a bunch of one act David Ives plays, which are just hilarious little plays.
okay.
So reach out to the Mac, reach out to me at my website jacobsherburn.com, but also marionartcenter.org. And specifically, my program is slash stages because it's summer stages. But yeah, if you want to be involved and get in touch with us because it's like that's how we make this happen, baby. Um,
It's true.
whether
No, it's a
whether or not you're 14
wonderful
to 18.
yeah. And you don't have to have any experience, right? You just show up
No,
and
no. I mean,
you'll find something for people to do.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've
Mhm.
had students that were like, I am deathly afraid of talking in front of people.
So
Um,
this is perfect.
but I would like to make puppets and beautiful costumes.
Right.
And I've had students that that start making awesome costumes or that start
Mm.
stage managing and then are like, okay, give me some lines, and then they do great. But also then kids that stay on the sort of the organizational and backstage part, which is also super fun and exciting. So that's it doesn't have to just be for actors. Or if you want to work on a scene and then not showcase it, that'd be fine too. It's
It's just
not
giving kids the experience and
exactly
exposure to see if this
right.
is something that interests them. And acting can be a full-blown career or it could be a hobby, you
But
know?
also, like what you were asking me earlier, I
Mhm.
combine teaching and parenting and hopefully husbanding, not husbandry because that's large animals, but
Yes, right.
husbanding with acting, and it's kind of like I don't know, you fit it in,
Your passion, I know you're
you
an actor, you love it.
especially
And you
right
would
now
love
because
to be yeah, go
a
ahead.
lot of auditions are virtual now because during the pandemic, it
That's
was like,
great, isn't
do we
it?
all need to go there? I'm like, no, we
Isn't
don't
that
all need to go
great?
there. And yeah,
Especially if you're looking at, TV and film, wouldn't you wanna see what you're right there. You can it
oh,
doesn't get any
definitely.
better.
Honestly, I feel mad now when theaters are like, okay, now we're gonna have our EPA in person, which is like an equity principal audition. I'm like, get out of here. I'm gonna send you a video and you let me know if you want to come in. That's
That was actually why I didn't stick with it, because I just didn't have the time to be going back and forth to Boston for auditions.
but also it's
Because
like,
the percentage, like the chances that you're going to get a
right.
role compared to give us an example of how many auditions do you get cast?
I do really well percentage wise, but still
But that's unique.
but what I'm saying though is I get less than 15% of what I auditioned for.
Mhm.
And uh and some half a year at a time, it's less than 5% of what I auditioned for, less than
Mhm.
2% of what I auditioned for. So it is not designed. The industry has to deal with this idea of, do we want only people that are bankrolled by other people to be making art with us, or do we want to be able to work with people that need to have jobs, that need to have third jobs, that need to bring their children with them sometimes, that need to have
Right.
conflicts, because quite often the show must go on doesn't work for you if nobody can cover you at Walmart. So I don't know, the industry is changing and shifting, and I mean, artists more than anybody else, well, I don't know, the clergy and you included, um, uh, are always checking themselves and trying to make sure, am I being the best human that I can be? So it's shifting and changing moving forward. But
I think COVID helped with that. I think,
yeah,
we didn't have a choice to make that shift, and we managed just fine. Companies actually, many of them are more profitable having employees work from home.
yeah,
So I think there were some things that were positive, um, with
yes.
being virtual. And I
Much
think
like
like
me,
you
I am positive right now.
yeah, I know. You had a margarita. My friend, we're coming up on the hour, and I think you can down the
Fine.
rest of that. I know. I know. It was so good to see you, though. I absolutely adore you, and you entertain me every time.
Thank you.
And you do. You do. And I'm so happy for you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Really. Like, well deserved.
Thanks, Veronica.
You're
But I
welcome.
do also just want to say, like, I'm very happy and I'm very lucky about it. But the things that premiered last week, they happened to premiere at the same time, and so it looked like, wow, Jacob is blowing up. And I have 2 or 3 commercials that are running right now. But the
So we just go with that. Jacob is blowing up.
right, but also I have enough confidence in my own thing to also be able to say I filmed one of them a year and a half ago.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
then another one a few months after that, and another one I filmed recently in New Jersey, and I got a parking ticket that wiped out all the money that I was paid for. And the commercials paid well, but they show over and over again, and I don't get paid every time. So it's also like, don't I also just want to make sure that I'm not discouraging people who are interested in doing something like what I'm doing, because it is fun.
Well, that's why I wanted you to mention, you are a seasoned actor. You've been doing this for a long time. You've been auditioning for a very long time, and
Right.
you've had moderate success.
Oh,
And
yeah. No, I'm doing great right now. I'm just saying,
right,
like, there's
right.
there's
And how many? What did you say? What percentage of auditions are you? You're at
like
5 to 15%.
5 to 15%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there, but having virtual auditions are great. I think that's
Yes,
wonderful.
I hope they keep doing that.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you at the Marion Art Center. I look forward
Yes.
to it. Congratulations on everything. You
Thank you,
rock.
and thank you so much for all you do for the community and for
Aw.
the just the people that you keep safe sometimes and keep entertained. Um, and thank you for your beautiful house and
My dance floor.
yes,
It's
yes.
a dance
And
floor.
can we
That's
we
what it
got to
is
see
now.
you dance. Can
Yeah.
you 5, 6, 7, 8, Veronica.
I know. Let's see if we
great.
can't gift you that piano too. Okay.
Oh my goodness, Veronica, will you really have me back soon? Have me back
I
soon.
will.
I would really like to
I'm
be
gonna
here.
be I will continue to follow you.
Great,
Really.
and I'll make other people play improv games and make them make an array of faces.
I'm gonna have to Google things I can do with a stick. Okay.
All right, let's leave on that. Let's
All right,
leave
Eddie.
on that.
All right. I will talk to you soon.
I can't believe you said that. That's great.
I know. Bye now.
Bye.
All right. Love you, buddy.
I love you too.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our show with actor and comedian Jacob Sherburne, and he's always a very good time. And please check him out in Julia and The Food That Built America. Julia is on HBOMax, and The Food That Built America is the History Channel. And I will be putting out more information on his summer theater program and at the Marion Art Center here in Marion, for those of you that are interested. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock for another V Talks. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.